So usually when I do my moon read videos, I usually go to the Sabian symbols for where the full or the new moon is taking place from a degree standpoint. But in this one, I've decided to just start out with the Sabian symbol up front because I think it's pretty profound, I guess, or accurate in terms of when I looked at the chart, in terms of capturing the overall energy for this new moon in Sagittarius. So here is the image here, the Sabian symbol. It's a child and a dog with borrowed eyeglasses. And James Burgess says here, receiving guidance from a true master. So, in line with Sagittarius, in line with Jupiter, in line with intuition, is getting potentially, it's just that at the base it's getting information to up level your conscious awareness. That could be just in your normal daily routine, getting information that just comes to you out of the blue. It could be actually learning from somebody, going to an actual class and learning. It could be through meditation. This new moon in Sagittarius is happening on 12/12. So it's during the 12/12 portal. So we have Mercury, which is going to be going retrograde at the very end of this day, at least here in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Towards midnight, Mercury is going to station retrograde. We have this new moon here in Sagittarius, and this movement this movement is taking place on 12/12, which is a portal. Let's just call it an energetic opening for the collective. And so with this image here, it's up leveling, it's raising consciousness. So let's jump over and let's take a look at the chart for this new moon. So this new moon is taking place December 12th around 3:32 p.m. here in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. And here is the image of that new moon with the moon and the sun together. And then we have the aspects to this new moon here. And so the first thing that jumps out to me was that Sabian symbol, which is why I shared that up front. But here in the chart, this Sagittarius new moon has the flavoring of Mars within it. So Mars is within 7 degrees. It's kind of blending energies. I almost feel this as separating, like it's a separate energy, but it's driving it, if that makes sense. I don't even know if I'm saying this right, but like what I'm getting is it's definitely a combination of the two energies of Mars/Aries and Sagittarius. And so different with this new moon as compared to other new moons. If you think of a new moon, it's a seed energy. So it's energy that gets seeded, and then usually that energy starts getting worked with, and you start to see a tangible result of that energy around the full moon time in Sagittarius. What I'm getting with this new moon is there's more of a tangible representation of the energy all along this path up to the full moon in Sagittarius. So where you can have a new moon where it's really internal and it's not even noticeable and it's a seed, but you could not even pinpoint it. You're like, I didn't feel anything. I have no idea what you're talking about. With this energy, I feel like for most, it's going to be more obvious. Like in terms of getting downloads of information or learning from somebody or having somebody show you something that you were not aware of, whether that's higher dimensional stuff or that's actually coming through somebody here in this 3D reality, it creates some kind of a spark, some kind of a drive to move forward, to take action, which is all about these two signs. If you think of Mars and Aries and Sagittarius, they're both fire signs. They are all about action. And so, well, what can be expected here with this spark or this intuitive download? So, we do have a creative transformation aspect to Saturn in Pisces. So, Saturn just recently went direct in the sign of Pisces, and it's in a creative transformation aspect to this new moon. So, creatively transform. And what I talk about Saturn and Pisces is giving form to the formless. What I was getting here too with Saturn and Pisces is that can literally, and a lot of times astrology can be literal, is an authority figure, Saturn, coming in to give you some information to move you forward. So think of like a mentor or all of the things that I just talked about, right? And so there's a creative transformation to this energy. And so Saturn in Pisces is like creating a structure, creating some kind of container for you to understand things and be able to take action and move forward. There is a square here to Neptune, which a square usually represents tension. It doesn't have to, it depends on your existence and your consciousness level and all of the other things that impact a chart. But what I'm getting here for this read with the square to Neptune, if you think about Neptune in Pisces is, for me, representative of universal consciousness. It's representative of everything. There are no borders. It's everything is energy. And then you look at Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn's like, hold on. Saturn is like, we need to bring some kind of form. We need to create some kind of structure. There needs to be some type of rules. There needs to be some ways of engaging with everything so that we can focus our energy in the right way towards whatever we're aiming for. So the tension aspect I get here with Neptune is like where there may have been some flipping over towards more of that universal consciousness side, which could present in our reality as disillusionment or escapism or not really paying attention to the physical reality, Saturn, not paying attention to the things that are in our 3D reality. That's where the tension could come in, is it's like you've been up in the clouds, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. And so this creative aspect to Saturn is going to give you some structure, and how you experience that's going to be different for all of you. But that structure can be very much needed, but it may create tension in terms of the flow or the space or things you've been engaging in that have felt really good. If you think about Neptune and Pisces, just like I said, it's very open, so it can feel spacious. It can feel like Neptune and Pisces can be like dreamy and fantasy and all of that type of stuff. And in that land, it can feel really good. Saturn comes in as like, nope, you have to, this is what you need to focus on at this period of time. So that's where the tension is coming in here with this Neptune and Pisces. The other aspect here, which supports this Mars in Sagittarius, which is next to this new moon, is we have the supportive aspects to the nodes of the moon. So we have the North Node in Aries, we have the South Node in Libra, and there's going to be a relationship flavoring to this, or a relationship energy to this, which I'll talk about. But simply with this aspect is this seed energy, this new moon energy is supporting these nodes. And the North Node, Aries energy, moving forward, taking action, understanding things. And so you see the North Node there is sandwiched between Chiron and Eris. And so certainly the first thing that pops out to me when I see that is healing, a healing type energy. But what I'm getting is like moving forward. There's an action to this energy where usually or let's just say the energies I've been feeling with this Chiron and North Node has been more internal, more psychological, more energetic. What I get with this new moon energy in a supportive aspect to this North Node here between Chiron and Eris is more action oriented, actually in this reality, taking some kind of action, signing up for that class, or getting some kind of information which creates this structure where you're like, okay, I've got it. I understand what direction that I need to go in. So there's more of an action to this energy. And then we'll pull that North Node in Libra in as we get into Venus here. So before I go there, I want to just cover this real quick. So there's an inconjunct here between this new moon and Uranus, which is still retrograde over there in Taurus. And so the retrograde energy, because Uranus is an outer planet, and so it's more of a subtle type energy. When Uranus is direct, it's more of a, quicker energy, more of a things changing quickly type of energy. What I'm getting here is like what I just was told, like, hold on. And so I'm going to just stick with this inconjunct to Uranus. So the inconjunct to Uranus is an energy of, I can't see you, or there's a disconnect, which means I need to disconnect from a specific type of energy. And when you talk about Uranus, not so much Uranus, when you talk about Taurus energy, Taurus energy is how you feel, it's how you support yourself, it's the things you surround yourself with. It is related to creativity and beauty and all of those things. But it's more so what I'm getting here is things that are valuable to you or that you may have found value in. I get this aspect more of a disconnect, like a disconnect from things that you have been connected to, that you have been fixed on, which is Taurus is a fixed sign, it's an earth sign. It's now, I feel that Sagittarius energy is moving you away or disconnecting you from things that no longer serve you at this point in time. Personally, Venus, the inside of Venus, Taurus energy. And then we'll go to Jupiter, which is the ruler of Sagittarius. So that carries some weight here with this energy here with this new moon. And so Jupiter is still retrograde in Taurus, but it is in a supportive aspect to Mercury, which on this day, late in this day, is going to be stationed retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. And it's also opposing the ruler of Taurus, Venus, in Scorpio. So this is where I'm feeling the relationship energy come in. And it's, again, this action moving forward. And with Mercury stationing retrograde, I'm getting this energy of revisiting. And what I mean by revisiting, I'm getting a few messages here. One of them is it could be revisiting older relationships, although I felt this strong as soon as Venus went into Scorpio, which was a couple days ago, I believe. Yeah, a couple, 2-3 days ago, Venus stepped into Scorpio. So during this whole month, there is a strong flavoring of revisiting old relationships and gaining some more clarity. Yes, I feel that here too, but I feel more of an action oriented where this energy is more, there could be new relationships coming in. There could be going deeper in a relationship. I also get some energy of new relationships coming in, but they're being still a bit of like that Chiron Eris energy that still linger from other relationships, which kind of, it's almost like there's a push-pull, which is this opposition, which is like, I feel like I want to go here and I want to step into this relationship, but there's still a part of me over here that's not quite sure, and that's cautious. And it's just not, let's just say, not all in. And so there's that type of energy that I'm feeling. The other energy that I'm getting is kind of tied into that in conjunct to Uranus, which is like, some of you may disconnect from people you're deeply connected with, which is an energy signature of Scorpio, deeply merged energy. So that could be a deeply committed relationship. It could be family members. It could even be a business arrangement or something to do with where you just take your energy and you invest it with other people. That can be, there could be this epiphany, or there could be this awareness, or there could be this message that comes in, which causes you to have to remove yourself, which could be difficult. The opposition could be difficult. This in conjunct could be difficult. And the other thing I'm getting here is going back to the beginning here, where maybe there was some disillusionment in terms of relationships or things you were deeply committed to. Having to step back or remove your energy from it can cause some tension. That's, again, that tension aspect here between the new moon and Neptune. So I think that's all I have here. I'm just looking real quick to see if there's anything else that jumps out at me here. There's a little bit of flavoring here with Pluto in Capricorn. I don't really get it strong with this new moon energy, but there's kind of a loose square here to this Jupiter energy. So it's almost like I feel it off to the side, which Pluto finishing up the last degrees of Capricorn through this year into next year can be intense. And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is the structure, the authority, the way we mentally construct our reality. And so whenever a body finishes up its last few degrees of a sign, there could be some intensity there because it's a wrapping up. It's like finishing up what needs to be finished up when it relates to that sign and preparing for the move into the next sign. So here it's Capricorn moving into the sign of Aquarius when it comes to Pluto. And now you have Saturn, which stepped into Pisces, went retrograde, and is now going forward again in the sign of Pisces. So there could be some intensity there. I don't really, it's like, yeah, that's there as a general overall theme, but I don't really feel it too strongly here with this new moon in Sag. So as always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your energy. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you again in another video. Take care.